Blaine and Sophia are trapped. Blaine, drugged, mistakes Sophia for Zoey and kisses her. Zoey witnesses this. Later, while helping Sophia out, Zoey accidentally lets go, injuring Sophia. Zoey is arrested and faces serious charges. She is later released, unsure of how or why. Will Zoey be able to prove her innocence? Was this Sophia's plan all along? Will Blaine take action against Sophia and support Zoey? Who is the person who is bailing Zoey out?
Zoey was still wondering who released her. When she walked out of the prison cell into the lobby, she found a man standing in the corner of the lobby with his back towards Zoey.
Blaine, you're here.
But she could recognize this man anywhere. Tears started streaming down her face. Blaine turned around to face Zoey, but his eyes were dark. He didn't look happy to see her.
Zoey, come closer.
Zoey was scared, but walked towards Blaine slowly. He touched her puffy face. Her face was swollen from the slap yesterday. Blaine gritted his teeth, and Zoey knew what was coming.
Who did this? Give me the name.
Let it be. I'll handle it.
Who did this, Zoey? Tell me!
Zoey was scared of what Blaine might do if she gave him the name. Just then, an officer walked past them.
Hey, who interrogated this woman? Who made the arrest? Give me the name, now!
Dr. Dexter, it was Officer Grissom who interrogated Miss Fuller, but he's on leave today.
I don't care if he's on leave. I want him here in 30 minutes. Give him a call now.
The officer looked at Blaine's determined face and made the call to Officer Grissom right away.
Officer Grissom, you need to come down to the station right away. Yeah, it's an emergency.
The police officer left, informing Blaine that Officer Grissom will be reaching the station as soon as he can. Blaine carefully touched Zoey's cheek to examine it, but she let out a huge cry.
It hurts, Blaine. Please don't touch it.
Blaine had never seen Zoey admit that she's hurting. He realized how broken Zoey must be feeling. He offered a hug to Zoey, and Zoey burst out crying, hiding her face in his chest. A few minutes later, Zoey pulled herself together and dried her tears.
How's Sophia? Is she doing better?
She's critical and in a coma because of her head trauma.
Right then, Officer Grissom entered with another police officer.
This woman, who let her out? Didn't I make it clear that she must be in the cell until she pleads guilty?
Blaine lost his mind at the officer's behavior and punched him in the face.
I helped you get out of that cave yesterday, and this is how you thank me? You want to fight, huh, big guy? Let's fight.
Officer Grissom, stop! That's Senator Dexter's son, Dr. Blaine Dexter. You don't want to mess with that family, sir.
Does it make you feel like a man when you hit on a helpless woman? Tell me now. How does it feel to be the helpless one?
I am sorry, Miss Fuller.
I don't want your sorry. I want justice. You dragged me here, locked me in the prison cell, and kept blaming me for something I didn't do. You didn't even offer me a lawyer, which was my right. And to top it all off, you hit me. It was an act of police brutality. You're not worthy of wearing this uniform.
Officer, hold my hand.
What?
Said hold my hand and grab it tightly.
Officer Grissom held Blaine's hand, and as soon as he did, he withdrew it and screamed in pain.
Ah! What the heck was that? My hand is bleeding!
It's a brooch that I found in the hunter's trap. There's some blood on it too. You can examine it and match it to Miss Fuller's injury, and I'm sure it'll match.
Mr. Dexter.
And as for yesterday's incident, you've witnessed it yourself. How you reflexively withdrew your hand because you were in pain. Miss Fuller did the same. So, officer, since you didn't do your job, I had to. Zoey, let's go now.
The officer stood there stunned as Zoey and Blaine walked away from him. Blaine led Zoey to his car and told her to wait as he had to make a call.
Hey, it's Blaine. This is about a specific Officer Grissom. I want him to be terminated, and I don't want him to work for any law enforcement or government agencies ever again. Is that clear?
From a distance, Zoey was sitting in the car and waiting, but when she looked at Blaine, she couldn't help but cry. She opened the car door and ran to hug Blaine.
Thank you, Blaine. Thank you for believing in me when no one else did.
I had all the reasons to not trust you. For 4 years, you told me that you loved me, yet you left me. You even said that it was all a lie, and that you only played with my feelings. I had every reason to not believe you, but something told me that I should. I didn't want to believe you could hurt someone. I just knew in my heart that you were innocent.
Zoey kept crying and Blaine held her patiently. A little later, when Zoey was able to handle herself, they left the police station and went to a pharmacy to treat Zoey's wounds. And then they headed to Zoey's street.
You're shivering. Here, take my jacket and put it on.
Zoey put on the jacket and was about to open the door when Blaine spoke again.
Does Matthew know about us? I mean, we did cross the line at times. It's not right. You're betraying Matthew and I'm betraying Sophia. I'm not this person, Zoey. Don't make me like you.
Hearing what Blaine thought of her, Zoey wanted to scream at the top of her lungs that she didn't betray him, but she kept quiet. It was only her sobs that Blaine could hear. He held her in his arms.
Hey, you cry too much. Stop it. Why are you crying anyway? You don't want to go back to Matthew? Do you want to divorce him? For me?
As soon as Blaine said that, he felt Zoey stiffening in his arms.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to be the reason behind a broken marriage. And anyway, I heard you two are planning to start a family.
What? Who told you?
Sophia.
With all his heart, Blaine wanted Zoey to say no, but she didn't. She just gave him a faded smile and they sat in silence.
Okay, I should leave.
Let me walk you home.
No, it's okay. It's only a few minutes away. You've already done so much for me.
Zoey dried her eyes and walked out. As Zoey was walking away, Blaine closed his eyes and remembered the time Zoey had walked away from him the first time.
Let go of his hand, Zoey.
Didn't you hear what I said? I want to break up with you, Blaine. I don't love you anymore. I'm not letting go of his hand. The one who should let go is you. Let go of me.
I'm giving you one last chance. Let go of his hand.
You know what? I'm leaving. You think the world revolves around you, right? With this attitude, do you think you can make me stay? Well, watch me leave.
Zoey walked out holding Matthew's hand and Blaine shut his eyes. When he opened his eyes, he was back to the present. He watched as Zoey vanished into the street. He knew he had to stay away from her.
Can't make the same mistake of falling back in love with her. Just can't. When did I ever fall out?
The next morning, Zoey went to see Sophia at the hospital.
Sophia, I don't know if you can hear me, but I hope you can. I'm sorry. I am sorry about your injury and the things between me and Blaine. And about that day at the cave. I really hope it was just an accident and not something you plotted.
Zoey put the flowers she had bought on the table and went near Sophia's bed again.
Get better soon, Sophia.
Zoey walked out of the room, and as soon as she did, Sophia, struggling, opened her eyes. She was battling with extreme pain, yet her hatred for Zoey had given her strength. All her plans had failed, so this time she thought of doing something so vicious that Zoey could never manage to escape it. She raised her hand. What was Sophia going to do? Will she hurt herself yet again? And will she finally send Zoey to prison this time?
Hey, I'm Zoey. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of Rekindled Heartache.